Hi, this is Adam Delia, and he's from New England, and he is one of the original occupiers of Occupy San Francisco. He's been here since the beginning. And I've asked, let's see, this is the day before Thanksgiving, 2011. We're in one of the buildings of the Embarcadero right now, down the street from Justin Herman Plaza, where the final Occupy space still exists, with about 300 people.
Yep.
And I've asked Adam since he was one of the original occupiers, to tell us about his experience, what have been the successes of it and the not successes, and where he thinks it needs to go from here.
I think one of the biggest successes I think that we've had is that we've always stuck together no matter what. We're a peaceful protest. That's no matter where the Occupy is, but especially SF, we've been very, very peaceful. We won't hurt anyone. Police officers have beaten us down. We refuse to. It's not how we're going to be it. That's not how our movement will move ever. We are peaceful. We deal with the inside aggressions peacefully. We don't have any altercations if possible. I think we're working on that a lot better. We had a security force and we're slowly locking it down, so we have a peacekeeper force now, completely different than security in my opinion. Because there's always a part of the 99% is people who are like physical altercations and like to have rough fights and stuff like that. But I think so far we've been able to push our expression out. We've been working with Glide from San Francisco, who is just a wonderful group. Food Not Bombs. We have fed so many homeless people. We feed 1,500 meals minimum every day out of our little kitchen there, without cooking anything.
All with donated food?
Yeah, all with donated food. We almost never purchase any unless it's an emergency, like salad dressing for tons of salad we get.
And this is a welcome from the whole community that is contributing this food.
Yeah, they have been a wonderful support. I think the only person really in the community that doesn't support us is Mayor Ed Lee. Out of everyone, we try to do our best and work with them. We bend and bend and bend for things we shouldn't have to work with, and he comes and raids us anyways. We don't understand it. We don't want to negotiate with him anymore, but we also don't want to fight with him. We think he's a great man in his way, whether he believes in what we believe in or not.
And there's always been a very committed attempt to negotiate with the city on everything.
Oh yes, everything. They complained about when we were cooking in the kitchen, fire permits, open flames and stuff like that. We tried getting them and we've been denied them for the last month. They refused to give it to us. Sanitation, they said, was a problem. Then when we got porta potties, they refused. One police officer immediately tried getting the man who was dropping the porta potties off to not. We staged to sit in. We got into the porta potties, so we couldn't do anything. It's like, what's the point in telling us we got sanitation problems when you won't let us handle it? When we were handling it, get porta potties, sanitation cleaned up.
Well, what's interesting about San Francisco, this Occupy San Francisco, is it's one of the ones that is still here.
Yes.
It's been raided, 5 times, and you were there for all of them?
We were hit at the Fed Reserve on the 5th of October. We were hit at Justin Herman the night we moved to it because they asked us to move out fully, not fully, but most of our people out of 101 because they thought it was too congested. So we agreed, and we did that, and we still got raided because of it. We got raided another time because they said no tents, but tarps were okay. Even though we took the 2 tents down, we still got raided. And then we took the path in between Justin Herman Plaza and the 101 Market, the Federal Reserve, and they took that back from us. And just recently, that was within the last 2 weeks, and within the last week they took the Federal Reserve 101 Market, saying that we were a hazard to safety health.
They said that the few tents that were there were in the way of pedestrians, but there was always a clear walkway for people to walk on.
And even before that said raid that happened at Federal Reserve, that pushed us out completely from there. They had taken almost all the tents around. There was 37 tents last that I counted, and they reduced it down to 4.
Yeah.
And they still got raided. So we do everything we can to apply what they would like us to do, but there's only so much when we need, to be able to have human needs. They say we're not allowed to tent and shelter ourselves yet. In our Constitution, it says we're allowed to feed ourselves, clothe ourselves and shelter ourselves. We're doing the first two. Why can't we do the third?
And there are two things that this occupation, the San Francisco one, and the occupations all over the country, starting in Wall Street, two rights, constitutional rights that occupiers have. One is the right of free speech, and the other is the right of assembly.
Yep. They try to claim that the assembly is only to a degree, but in it says that we actually are allowed to assemble where people have assembled for a long time. And last I checked, we've populated the United States for a couple hundred years. I think people have been assembling everywhere. Even in parts of the ocean, people have been assembling. Why aren't we allowed to walk into our streets that are publicly owned?
Yes, this is constitutional law that the police now are violating.
Yep.
They are violating it, and
They
then in the attempt to take out, well, the success in taking out the Tent Bridge and 101 Market, the police committed terrible brutality on some of the people in the tents there.
They stole private property too. One of the main guys at the camp, I want to call him Pirate, he had everything in his tent returned to him except for his trunk full of his military records, his grandfather records, his cell phone, his laptop. They didn't return one of our photographers' huge collection of photographs on her cameras. They literally have a timeline from the beginning to now of all the occupiers because she's been photographing the whole time. And she doesn't have it anymore because they took it all. She wasn't there when they wiped it out. And they refused to give it back. They say they don't have it, and they definitely do. They have all of our stuff. They were in our tents, in our trunks. They didn't return Pirate's trunk.